Got some big Social Security news. Donald Trump makes fresh pledge on Social Security and Medicare as the Biden-Harris campaign says that Donald Trump is a liar. Then we also have President Biden with 5 promises that Biden has made about Social Security if he's reelected. You're not going to want to miss those. Also, we're hearing more from Congress.
Democrats on this committee are focused on delivering on that promise, and we're willing, even if it's hard, even if it may not be perfect, we're willing to put our name behind a proposal to fix this problem. And that's why we put up our solution to shore up the Social Security trust funds, to increase benefits, important part of this provision, for current and future retirees. We do so by...
I'll play the full video clip of what is being said there, and I'll give you some other important updates as well. Before I dive into the main content, if you appreciate these Social Security updates, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more Social Security updates. So, Donald Trump makes fresh pledge on Social Security and Medicare. So what did he say here? So basically, Donald Trump renewed a campaign pledge on Social Security and Medicare during a rally. What was said is, I will not cut 1 penny from Social Security or Medicare, and I will not raise the retirement age by 1 day. He continued, Biden is going to do that because he's allowing these people to come in to go into Social Security and Medicare. So basically, Donald Trump, this is really interesting because most of the Republican Party want to raise the retirement age, but Donald Trump is saying he's not going to raise the retirement age by 1 day. So I thought that was really interesting. So Donald Trump not really having much of a Social Security plan. His plan is to boost the economy, which then in turns hopefully boosts Social Security, but doesn't really have a plan. No, not like a 5-point or 4-point plan like Biden. But the response to this, Biden-Harris campaign responds to latest Social Security lie. Biden-Harris Principal Deputy Campaign Manager Quentin Fawkes says that what about President Biden should and shouldn't do are patriots, but now it's time for Democrats to come together to defeat Donald Trump. So not really giving much substance there either. So not saying Donald Trump is a liar, but not really giving the reason why. So I think it is pretty smart on Donald Trump's part because he's saying that he won't hurt Social Security, but not giving a plan. So if his plan doesn't go through, you can't fault him. Unlike President Biden, who has put out a plan. He has given a 4-point plan saying what he wanted to do when he became president in 2020, but has not followed through with a single thing, not even a mention about Social Security, unless he was saying that Republicans were going to try to cut Social Security, which hasn't happened either. So President Biden and former President Trump, I'm actually disappointed in both of them because none of them did anything about Social Security besides talk about it and blame the other person for nothing being done. So anyways, let's go into this. 5 promises Biden has made about Social Security if he's elected. All right, so we're going to get into this, but first, let's take a listen to what Congress has to say.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and Ranking Member, for holding this hearing, and to our witnesses, thank you so very much for being here, and perhaps more importantly, for your years of work on this and other subjects. I'm from Michigan, and in Michigan, over 2 million seniors rely on Social Security just to make ends meet. For most of those folks, Social Security is the most important source of income retirement income, and in fact, for many, it's the only source of retirement income that they depend on. They have contributed, these folks that I represent, and we all represent, have contributed to Social Security with every paycheck, and rightfully expect that it will be waiting for them when it's time for them to retire. That's sort of the deal. When you work hard, you play by the rules, you ought to be able to retire with dignity. Those American workers have lived up, paycheck to paycheck, have lived up to their end of the deal, and so it's really important that Congress, on behalf of the American people, live up to our end of the deal and make sure that that benefit that they paid for, that was promised to them, is waiting for them. Democrats on this committee, it's been mentioned, Mr. Larson's leadership on this issue, Democrats on this committee are focused on delivering on that promise, and we're willing, even if it's hard, even if it may not be perfect, we're willing to put our name behind a proposal to fix this problem. And that's why we put up our solution to shore up the Social Security trust funds, to increase benefits, important part of this provision, for current and future retirees. We do so by making the wealthiest Americans pay into Social Security at the same rate as those Bay City teachers that I represent, or Saginaw firefighters that I represent, Midland factory workers that I represent are paying out of their paychecks. This approach stands, as has been said, in pretty stark contrast to the proposals, or lack of proposals, put forward by our Republican colleagues. Now, we haven't seen a legislative approach prepared and drafted and dropped in the hopper. We have done ours, but we do know that the Republican Study Committee, which 80% of House Republicans belong to, recently released their budget plan for 2025. And under their plan, Republicans would cut Social Security benefits by $1.5 trillion. You can say it's this or that or the other thing, but you take that kind of money out of the program, someone's going to have to lose a benefit. This proposal, which raises the retirement age and cuts benefits for family members, couldn't be more out of step from what I hear back home about the solutions that people want to see us take up. For the Michiganders, the seniors that I represent, barely getting by on their Social Security check, the answer to the long-term solvency of Social Security is not to increase the retirement age, not to cut benefits. It's time that we advance legislation that increases Social Security benefits to reflect the true cost of living that they experience, and does so by making the wealthiest Americans, who have done extraordinarily well, as evidenced by some of the data dating back to the 1983 reform. The millionaires and billionaires have done extraordinarily well, and they certainly can step up and do their fair share. Again, it's time to move legislation that does not cut benefits, that solves this problem by making sure that the people at the very top of our economy pay their fair share. That's what our legislation would do. And I want to ask a question. I just want to say to Mr. Houston, Mr. Goss, Mr. Swagel, thank you for the work that you do. Thank you for keeping us informed with the facts. The facts speak to the need for us to take action. I look forward to working for my remaining time here in Congress alongside each and every one of you to make sure we solve this problem. So thanks for your service to our country.
What are your thoughts on that? Let's get into this right here. The 5 promises Biden has made about Social Security if he's reelected. So he said no benefit cuts. So Biden has promised to block any piece of legislation that comes to his desk that endangers the hard-earned Social Security benefits the American people deserve. So we got that, no cuts. Extending solvency by ensuring high-income Americans pay their fair share. So what's said here is currently middle-class and lower-income Americans pay Social Security taxes on all their incomes, but higher-income Americans do not. So he wants to raise that. Then also improving benefits for seniors and people with disabilities. The president supports efforts to improve Social Security benefits as well as SSI benefits for seniors and people with disabilities, especially for those who face the greatest challenges making ends meet. More investment in the Social Security Administration. So saying that the president supports investments in the SSA services so that seniors and people with disabilities can access the benefits they've earned. So some people think that's a little controversial since the SSA is very bulky and bureaucratic. Throwing money at it may not solve its problems. No increase to retirement age. That's actually just what former President Trump just said. So currently, seniors are able to begin collecting Social Security at age 62. Full retirement ages is around 66 to 67, depending on the when you're born. And in his campaign, he does not want to raise the retirement age. Now, all these things are great, but he made a bunch of other promises before he became president the last time, and none of those things were done. So really curious. Let me know your thoughts on this. Do you think this is just for re-election purposes, or do you think President Biden means this? Let us know down in the comments below. And that is all the news that I have for you today to hopefully cheer you up a bit. Here's my daughter Bella's tip of the day.
Hi guys, this is Bella. This is the tip of the day, and I am going to be telling you that you always need to have fun. at the playground or at anything. You need to have fun with yourself and enjoy yourself how you are right now, because the day after, it won't be around. So you have to enjoy the day first. Bye!
If you want to see the latest COLA announcement, you're going to want to click this over here to see what the latest forecast is for 2025 and what your Social Security check might be. So click that video now, and I'll see you in that video. Take care, be safe. Thank you for watching.